Good morning, Wrestling Inc. Get up, get going. Happy Tuesday. I hope you are teed up and ready for some pro wrestling punditry. It's me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Tuesday to get tickled. It's our good friend from Second City, Chicago, EJ Cameron. EJ, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Good to be back, Nick. You know what's funny? I thought I did the show last week, but I was like, oh no, we were just at replay.
We were. We hung out not long ago, but we haven't been able to nail you down to do the show in a couple weeks, EJ. I just keep telling everybody you're off becoming famous, and that's why you're unavailable to us as often.
That's right. I was famous filming a commercial for Elmhurst Medical.
Hey, get that Elmhurst Medical money right there, dollar
Hey.
bill, right?
And then we could bleach our clothes properly next time.
Yeah. So EJ was, for those of you in audio form, you're missing it right now. EJ was wearing like a speckled kind of painted shirt, and I decided I have a shirt very similar to that. I should put on my shirt so we look like a couple of street artists right now. We look like we just got finished tagging the underside of a bridge, I would say, EJ.
We're the Dudleys 2.0.
Yes, exactly. Oh, does that make me
Halloween? What are we doing, Nick? We'll talk.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. You know, I worry because they're not getting along right now. It would seem Velvet Sky was out there this morning saying, "Hey, there's more to this story."
Yeah.
You know, get Bully saying we're all just good friends. We just don't work together
anymore. Look, we're there for the historic. We're the 2000s.
Okay, cool. We need a spike. You know, we'll figure it out. So we got great. Willow could be Spike. Willow would be a perfect Spike. We have a great show planned for everybody today. EJ and I are here. You could be here. Nicholas, my plant friend. Good morning, Nick and EJ. He said, support Wrestling Inc. Daily on all platforms. The #1 podcast for all your wrestling news. Thank you, Nicholas. Gary Lyles, welcome back, EJ. Hope your time off was successful.
Thank you, Gary.
You know,
twas indeed.
Samantha, welcome back, EJ. We missed you. Also, spill the tea. What's been going on? You already did that. It was that Elmhurst Medical. Unless there's more tea to be spilled. I don't know.
No. I wish it was cool. I took a Metra and I played Cold Brew Drew.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
I thought I was having a heart attack because I drank too much cold brew. And they were like, there's no script. We're just going to let you go. And it was me just like, and they were like, great, more. This is hilarious. And then they give me monies.
Wow. That, behind the curtains, everybody. It's so romantic.
It's, yeah, so romantic.
Praddock, what up, Nick and EJ? Rob here joking around. Hey, who's this new guy? Elizabeth
okay,
Fox.
Rob.
Good friend Elizabeth Fox. Hey, Nick and EJ. Good to see you. Hey, you know what? I'm so happy everybody's in a good mood. It's a poppin' chat room today. We got some news to be popping about. Before we get to all of that, the mailbag, the latest conversation, I'd like us to start the show by congratulating WWE referee Sean Bennett, who came out as gay yesterday on National Coming Out Day. So I don't know if is he the first openly gay WWE referee? I believe he is. I can't think of another.
I can't think of one either.
All right. Well, you guys are welcome to correct me in the chat room or in the comment section if you may choose. But yes, no, congratulations to Sean, living his best life. Always great to see people living in their realness and their real skin and all that. And I hope he's very, very happy, you know?
Agreed. And also, I hope there's a day where people won't feel they have to come out. Not saying that you shouldn't, but where that's just the norm. Who you are is who you are, and you can love who you want, and nobody, needs to judge you.
By the way, also, I guess I'll tee up the show. Maybe I think Doom Tribe T. I think we're going to start off maybe our news block here with your comment in just a second. I'm also going to have to fact check it. So Doom Tribe T, if you have a link you could show me, that'd be great, or something like that. But anyway, on today's show, later on after the news block, after we get tickled, we talk the news. This new breaking news, it looks like here. You're going to hear our good friend, my Wednesday co-host, another comedian, Brian Wool, his WWE SummerSlam weekend conversation with Jinder Mahal. You know, I've been wondering when I was going to release it, but last night it was the most dominant Jinder we've seen in a while. Jinder was not hindered last night. I thought today we should further unhinder Jinder by letting Jinder run wild on the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Yes, unhindered Jinder while I swipe through Tinder. Someone put it on a shirt.
How is Jinder not making that sweet Tinder money? That's what I want to know.
It's right there.
Swipe. I'd swipe. Is right the good one, or is left the good one?
Right's the good one.
Right's the good
Don't
one.
Don't confuse it. The first time I did a dating app, I confused it, and boy, my algorithm was off.
Okay, well, it's obviously been a while for me. Swipe right, swipe left. Swipe right, swipe left. Okay, and of course, at the end of the show for everybody, we'll dive into the mailbag, the Wrestling Inc. Daily mailbag, and we're going to look at what I'm calling the Friday night skirmish between AEW and WWE, but I don't think that we should wait to talk about it. News you can use, news will leave a bruise. I'm going to read this. EJ, I don't know if you want to, I'll Google this too to fact check and everything. I guess it just happened in real time. But, and this is very convincing here, and I never do one source stories. We're going to lead off the news block here. Doom Tribe T, you're my source. He just finished watching Tony Khan on WFAN, and he announced a live buy-in free on YouTube for this Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, head-to-head with the last hour of SmackDown, and he's going to have both Daniel Bryan and Bobby Fish in action. So I think you're tripling down at that point. Like, oh, you want to go head-to-head with us for a half an hour? Why do we go an hour and a half? Why do we really let this thing ride? Let's see what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's like, you want to go? You want to go? Let's go.
You want to go? Okay, you want to come? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You come a little. You give me a half hour. I'll give you an hour. You know, that's a knife and a gunfight situation here. You know, right? Wow, man, just got real. Supersonic X saying, should we call it the Friday Night Wars? Not yet, because I think you have to have a prolonged period of head-to-head. This is more of a like I say, a skirmish. This is a détente. You know, I don't think détente.
Skirmish. It might be not the first shot, but one of the first few. You know, this isn't Ferdinand, but it's getting there.
Wow.
For you history buffs.
I'm in real time. I don't know how to, I can't, here, I'll put it up on the screen. How do I copy paste this? Can I do that? Oh, I'm hitting the button way too many times here. All right. Well, anyway, I should send this to my boss. I should let Raj know to get this on the site. I'm going to take a picture of it. It seems like an easy way to do this. This is the real news, people. It's happening in real time. Doom Tribe T, you may have just started a real thing here on WrestlingInc.com. You're all welcome to do this. And then I hit text. And then I hit this. This is all great audio. I'm positive.
As I'm like sitting here like searching the news, I'm like, I'll find it. I'll find it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. It could be up on the site here very soon. Doom Tribe T. Look, the newsroom right here in action. MCASP. I love TK. You know, Tony Khan. A duel, says Samantha. So, anyway, that was pretty cool news to start the show off with there. Totally thrown, but we'll see. Yeah, and that's big news. We're gonna get Bryan Danielson, Bobby Fish, before Saturday now, because that was supposed to be on Dynamite, as Supersonic X is pointing out here. So yeah, man, good. You know, interesting times, man. Well, every time WWE tries to poke at Tony and AEW just a little bit, it's interesting to see how quickly they snap back. And wow.
It's like, I'm not going to deal with you bullies anymore. Like, as soon as they even start, they're like, get out of my face. Like,
by the way, getting granular more with this interview, he said it was an interesting interview because Tony wanted to talk AEW, but the WFAN host mostly wanted to talk about Urban Meyer and the Jaguars, which, man, you know, how do you, like, you know what happened with Urban Meyer, right?
That's not the Raiders coach.
No,
I read about the Raiders coach.
That's this morning, and that was awful. I think that may have broke yesterday.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer he got caught at a bar with some girl that is not his wife grinding up on him while he had a drink on his hand and in his hand, and it became a whole thing, right? And Shahid Khan, Tony's dad, has had to issue his statement there, condemning what happened and talking about how Urban's gonna have to rebuild that faith. Man, what a wacky world. That's the reality show I want. You right?
Right?
Yeah.
Pros and cons. Whoa.
Doom Tribe T, you don't need to apologize for messing up the flow. There is no flow here. I don't know what that is.
What is flow? We just swim with it, baby.
What is flow? All right. We'll come back. We'll talk. I'm going to let this digest. I'm going to let this run over my brain. We're going to talk more about the Friday night skirmish or duel. I kind of like duel as well. And when we get to the mailbag at the end of the show, so stick around and keep your thoughts, again, percolating. Let it wash over your brain. Wrestle News. They're reporting the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns is said to be the all-time merchandise mover among top heels and heel wrestlers in WWE history. Reigns' merchandise sales are at the level of John Cena, and that is more impressive because Cena sold a ton of merchandise as a babyface. So while Reigns is supposed to be despised as a heel, he's selling more merch. And on a related note, it's rumored that Reigns is going to hold this Universal title for a long time. There are no plans for him to drop the strap. Of course, he's going to defend it against Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel. Any thoughts on the large amount of merchandise Roman Reigns seems to be selling at the moment for WWE?
I think it's dope. It makes sense. Every time they show the crowd, there's so many Tribal Chief shirts or all of his stuff. It's just out there. All the guys who hated him before love him now, so they're buying the shirts. And I think there's a rollover of the kids who still look up to him and love him. They're like, cool, I'm going to buy this shirt too anyway. I still love this guy. He's my hero, even though he's a little bit of a douche right now. And I think he's in the pocket, the money pocket. Of all the pockets to be in, he's in the money pocket.
Yeah, dude, he's their primetime player, right? I mean, he's the only guy they really have at that level right now that is this big. And, I think, it's something to look at too. John Cena obviously made a lot of money for them over many, many years. I don't know that you could look back and make, too many what ifs about how you could have done it better, but it's got to be certainly something to look at here and think about how popular Reigns got, how much more merchandise maybe a heel John Cena could have moved. And on the other side of this, when Reigns does the thing, receives the girl, says, I'm tired of being this jerk. I'm going to be a real man now. I beat cancer. Everybody remember that? How much you loved me? So they're going to find a way to baby him, and he's going to sell even more merchandise on the other side of this as a babyface.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. It's going to be dope.
It's like a 3 to 5 year plan. In 5 years, I don't know if I see Roman 5 years. That's a good chunk of change. He's already got a lot going for him already. A lot of momentum.
He's going to be doing more movies. I'm calling it now.
Yeah. And, I think that there's, he is a bad guy, but it's kind of like the Tony D'Angelo thing, or it's like the mob boss thing, right? Like you love to cheer, right? The Godfather on, you're enjoying it. And the shirts, to their credit, are pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Basic kind of Roots of Fight style. It's fine. I think the Superman punch logo, whoever designed that did not get paid enough. That thing,
no.
that's a money logo right there.
Yeah, that's like the Nike swoosh. They're gonna look back and be like, oh, we should have definitely put that on more things and get paid more. Hopefully they're getting paid for it still. But yeah, they put that on shoes, hats,
everything. Anything.
The little tracksuits that he wear. I would wear one of those tracksuits.
Dude, I am always so jealous when he comes out in one of those tracksuits. I'm like, that looks super, super comfortable. If we could get one thing for the daily, it would be daily tracksuits. Be wonderful.
Please. I love tracksuits.
Yeah. So what a wonderful talk about tracksuits and Roman Reigns.
The fashion podcast.
I want to apologize, David, pointing out that as I was transitioning, you made a pros and cons joke that deserved better, and I know sold you, EJ.
Thank you. I was like, that's a good one. You're like, yeah. So
I was so thrown by the news up top, and then it's like I don't want to say stuff that's not true, so I'm trying to fact check it. But Doom Tribe T did such a good job on selling me on it that he'd actually listened to this. So I'm not saying I don't believe you, but if this is happening in real time and you just heard this, that needs to be up on the site rather quickly. That's what we do. We push news and stuff. So I can't relitigate the opening of the show, EJ.
It's good. It's fine. I'll be okay. I'll cry later.
So lost. Hey, Rob Humphrey saying, by the way, tracksuits. Are we talking about Tony D'Angelo? Maybe that's the thing. You just got to be a cool badass who wears a tracksuit. New Day did it for a while. They look awesome.
That's the vibe I've been trying to go for. Like lately, I'm just like, please, elastic pants.
Well, as I noted, Reigns is going to take on Lesnar at Crown Jewel. We had a new match made for Crown Jewel on Raw last night as well. Mustafa Ali turned on Mansoor after they lost to Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, and it's now official. They're going to be taking on each other one-on-one in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which they now say on TV. I don't know if you've noticed, but they've decided they're once again going to. It's not just Riyadh. It's not just the sands of the Middle East. It's Saudi Arabia. They're back to saying it. Whatever. I honestly, like, I love Mustafa Ali. Good friend, great guy, Chicago bred. I hope he makes a ton of money for this. I hope on the other side of this, he is rewarded with something meaningful, because, like, if this guy Mansoor is your big superstar in Saudi Arabia, and the number one priority for you is to make sure he looks like $1 million and is the Bret Hart of Saudi Arabia, you don't have anybody on your. This guy, Mustafa Ali, has been working his ass off.
Yeah.
Like, you watch the tag matches, Ali's taking all the fire, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's doing all the crazy bumps and everything. And now they're in this blood feud or whatever. I hate saying that going into that was a mistake, but whatever. Going into Saudi Arabia, and it's gonna bring out the best in Mansoor, and and Ali will do what he does, which is great. He's gonna tell an awesome story. He's gonna make this guy look like $1 million or billion. He's gonna make him look like $55 million, I think. So.
Yeah, I think they have a rapport now with each other. They've been working with each other enough that their match and their chemistry is going to be off the walls. I did see him tweet, Ali tweet, sometimes you got to do things for the betterment of the future. So I was like, okay, so he's aware of what he's going into. Of course he is, but I'm glad he said something about it. And I don't know, there's a little bit more intrigue to this match now because of that.
I'm of the matches on the show, this one I think for a lot of reasons is definitely one of the more intriguing bouts for me. And like the thing about Ali is, Muslim cop in Chicago, right? I don't know that there's a better way you could prepare yourself for the politics and worlds of WWE than being a Muslim cop in Chicago. Like, you got to put up a lot to be in that situation. I mean, incredible athlete. This dude, like, I'll still never forget freelance show. We were Bottom Lounge. Ali walks in like just before showtime, and it was like, I'm glad you made the show. And he's like, yeah, I had work. I had to do work late. And it's like, oh, what were you doing? He's like, drug bust. Like, I had to take a gun and dive through a window. And it's like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's crazy.
Also, I was at that show with you when I saw him. He was great.
Oh, yeah.
He was great.
Dude, what a genuine badass. So I hope he gets paid a lot of money to do this. And I hope on the other side of it is something very meaningful for him, because there's nobody that has earned it and worked harder, in my opinion, than Mustafa Ali. So
agreed.
Yeah. So we also had some updates in the Queen's Crown tournament and the King of the Ring tournament. Doudrop defeated Natalya. Shayna Baszler also won, so we have Doudrop and Shayna setting up the semifinals for the Queen's Crown tournament. Also, we had Xavier Woods advancing, and Jinder Mahal also advancing after beating Xavier Woods' partner Kofi Kingston, setting up Jinder versus Xavier Woods in the semifinals for the Raw brand. Any thoughts on what we saw from the tournament progressions last night?
It makes sense. I was looking forward to Xavier versus Kofi. They kept asking the question, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You have the natural story right there. Yay, don't hinder Jinder. Well, I'm on Tinder. But why would you not have Kofi and Xavier go head to head just to we've never seen it. It would be fresh. You have these two friends, and they're battling out for the King of the Ring
See,
on the
but
Raw side.
think about it this way now. Now, like, you want to see it, and I'm not a WWE apologist by any stretch, but I don't think the booking here is bad. I talked about this yesterday. I thought this is exactly how it was going to go down, because you're going to want a big heel going up against, I would imagine, Finn Balor on the SmackDown side in Saudi Arabia, right? There's Jinder Mahal. I think Jinder's going to go over Woods. I would be surprised if Woods walks away here and makes it to the finals against Finn, because I just don't think Sami Zayn could even go to Saudi Arabia. I think he's on the not allowed there. And I think I think this is a way to reheat up Jinder Mahal. Whether or not he takes the crown, I don't know, but I don't rule it out. This King gimmick is often used to take somebody in the mid card now and spruce them up, right? Give them something to do, right? Make them different.
A little razzle dazzle.
Little razzle dazzle, right? Little sizzle, little salt bay, right? So I think Jinder has a better shot here than people would expect, personally. But a King Finn Balor also makes sense to me. But no, I think this, and now you want to see Xavier Kofi, right? Like you did.
Yeah.
He's with it, but now you want it. How do you get to there now? Maybe there's more on the horizon for the New Day. Maybe
without them turning on each other.
I don't know, man. Wouldn't it be something if Kofi cost his buddy Xavier Woods this King of the Ring tournament match next week for no apparent reason?
Knowing that he's wanted the King of the Ring for so long and he's been talking about it for years. But that's the story. I feel like story is setting it up for Xavier to win.
Well, we'll see. That's fine.
What about the Queens? Who do we think? I think Queen Shayna.
I think so too. Samantha, Queen of Spades. Well, actually, you know what? I'll take that back. I don't want to jump to that conclusion anymore. They really have something with Doudrop right now. Yes?
Yes. Bless you.
Thank you. I had to sneeze. I hope that was not caught on the microphone.
Not at all.
Thank you. I muted myself. They really have something in Doudrop at the moment. I mean, there's just kind of an energy. She connects. I think she's a really good she rolled through Eva. She's a decided baby face. I look over at the SmackDown side and I see Carmella and Zelina Vega. Carmella is a heel. What is Zelina Vega, right? Baby face now? Is she a heel?
It sounds like a philosophy question. What is Zelina Vega?
Well, she is a woman. Yes, we'll start there. All right.
We'll start there.
A wrestler. I hate it. Philosophy was weird. So, Zelina Vega, I don't know what is she, but either of those women could be a heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And heel versus Doudrop. I don't know, Queen Doudrop, where she's got a crown and she's running around and I don't know. I don't
think she needs it though. Her gimmick is so cute and fun. Her being a queen on top of that I don't know. I like her enough, but I don't think she should win it. I think Shayna, Queen of Spades, is right there in the name. Have her be this mean. She's kind of stepping back into being a badass and breaking arms. She tried to choke Dana out again after the match. She was like, "Come here." That's terrifying.
Yeah. And look, I think I think the Queen's Crown tournament is less predictable for me. I really do feel we're moving to Jinder Finn, and I kind of lean Jinder. I don't know. I mean, I know Finn needs something big after, the loss to Roman Reigns there, but
yeah,
I don't know that they can't put their hand on the hot stove that is King Jinder. I feel like that's where they want to go right now.
Yeah, and I could see them. Yeah, I could see that him being a very specific type of, because everybody who's a king is a king that's there. Oh, you remember? Goodness gracious, Sheamus was the Celtic king.
Yeah.
Who looked like a wood nymph. So I could see them really dressing him up and having a really big pageantry type thing for Jinder, which would be dope.
Yeah, or Wade Barrett.
A Sultan.
Sultan, right? He could change it. He could be the Sultan. Sure, why not? But again, the King of the Ring has traditionally been used to take mid-card talent, zhuzh them up, give them new life. Finn Balor does not need this. And I also just feel like I don't know what the India-Saudi relationship is. but they're a lot closer together than Ireland or America is to Saudi Arabia. So, I don't know if he's got hometown pride or not. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. All right, that's all I have from Raw. Is there anything else? I mean, Raw was kind of a mixed bag for me last night. Anything else you want to bring up from Raw last night?
Oh man. The Cedric, not Cedric, Ricochet Xavier match was a really fun one. That's my other 2 cents from Raw. And I like the brawl with the ladies, the 4 ladies. I wish it just made it a fatal 4-way, but now I want to see them in a fatal 4-way. Like,
and by the way, Eric Roberts telling us Maharaja means king. And
thank you.
Antonio Garcia saying again, gender is the modern day Maharaja. So this all makes sense.
Then it's right there.
I'm in. I'm so in 100%.
Well, then apologies for saying Sultan. I was like, what is the word?
Yeah, because I totally didn't yes and you to my own demise there. I was like, yeah, Sultan, cool, boom, move on. Pros and cons. Joke.
It's right there. A reality show with the cons. All the pros they have to work with and the cons.
Wow. That's really good. That's really good. So I don't know if it roads to the top followed by pros and cons. Hook it to my veins.
I need it.
Love it. Brandy's like, you know what? Urban Meyer's in trouble. I think I could be the head coach for the Jaguars.
Yowie.
All right, Bailey. She tweeted the following during Raw. Very cryptically. It might get harder to understand, but it doesn't become less important. What I want doesn't even exist yet. Hashtag Raw, hashtag SmackDown. Should be noted, Bailey underwent surgery to repair a torn ACL in mid-July. It was noted then that she had suffered an injury while training at the Performance Center. She'd likely be out for around 9 months. So she's still got a good chunk of change here, recovery-wise, it would sound like. So she wasn't picked by Raw or SmackDown at 2021's draft last week, and per the rules of the draft, she became a free agent and is free to sign with any brand she wants. Any thoughts on Bailey's cryptic tweet, latest cryptic tweet?
Man, I'm trying to think about what – that's such a wild thing to think about. Back to philosophy. What doesn't exist that she wants? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I couldn't put my brain around it. I don't think it's main eventing or anything, but she wants something, and deservedly so. I think, what was it, yesterday or the day before was a year from when she turned heel or got her hair cut and turned into the Bailey that we all love now, and she stopped hugging and she killed her little inflatable dudes. But I don't know. But I'm hoping she comes back. I was wondering if she was going to be like a heel like John Cena and pop up sooner than later. But I don't know what Bailey could possibly want. Like, what else is there for her to do? She did tag. She held the championship for a while. She's had some of the best matches.
Well,
what do you think?
have Eric Roberts here and Scott Ficca both saying maybe a unified women's title is what she's looking for, right? She wants to just be the one champion, I guess. You know, maybe she just wants back her incredible arm flailing tube man or wacky wavy arm flailing tube man.
But she wouldn't be the first to do that because it was Becky Two Belts.
I know. Again, I'm trying to figure. Maybe it's an all women's show, right? That maybe that's what she wants to do. She wants to help run an all women's show with WWE,
like an NXT, and it's just strictly.
So
they're not having 2-minute, 1-minute Queen of the Ring matches.
Yeah,
you can actually have work.
I'll give Court Bauer credit over at MLW. You know, that was what he said on the media call last week. He said that he wants MLW to have its own women's show so the women don't have to worry about sharing time with the men. It's like, he's like, how much more equal can it get? Give the guys an hour, give the women an hour. I don't know that that's the, it's a different approach. We've never really seen that. I thought we were going to get that with New Japan and Stardom, and it never really manifested. I don't know why. I like Antonio Garcia here. Lead a stable of women. I have been advocating for a female stable. I want everything that worked in the 90s with the men and into 2000, they did again with the women when the women's revolution came along. They're like, Hell in a Cell, we'll do Hell in a Cell matches. The women, they can wrestle for real now, whatever it is, right? Main event WrestleMania. I think that like if you reinvented the NWO with like a women's entity, I still think that would slap, and I would love to see Bailey in a situation like that.
Yeah, I feel like they teased it a little bit when they were doing the NWO. Something they were doing with the NWO. Kevin Nash was going to be on Stone Cold's podcast. I saw a lot of women wearing NWO stuff, and I was like, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be. Eric Roberts here again chiming in saying Mandy Rose got the ladies stable on lock. Dave in chiming in as well. Toxic attraction exists, and you're right. It's still new. Wasn't front of mind. But yeah, I think they're great. You know, look really good together, and have been a very effective unit so far. Mandy Rose, I'm glad to see her kind of helping some of the future talent along right now.
Same, and also like helping herself.
Also coming out of the draft at WrestleVotes, reporting that a split for AJ Styles and Omos was reportedly the actual plan for the draft until people of power, including a top Raw superstar, spoke up and expressed thoughts on how Omos isn't quite ready for a singles run yet. Officials actually listened, and the decision was made to keep AJ and Omos together. I guess hypothetically for as long as another year, if they stay together until the next draft. Maybe you do the blow off at WrestleMania at this point. Like, I don't know.
Or they just, yeah, I could see them just splitting up at any time. Anytime AJ becomes too annoying, they can just split it up. But I'm glad that somebody stepped in. I feel like, I don't know why, my gut's telling me Orton is the one who was like, he's not ready yet.
I think Randy Orton was definitely the voice in that room that spoke up and said that. It totally fits the description for him, and he's been working a lot with Omos recently as well.
Yeah, I think he likes Omos a lot, and he's like, "Listen, there's money here. Wait."
Well, he's like, I want to make money with this guy. We need to, like, Daddy needs a bigger bus always.
Oh yeah, double decker, baby.
But I'm glad they see the money in Omos. I mean, the guy is obviously a star. He's a major attraction. He's wrestled, I think, way better than expected. Like his in-ring stuff is actually not best for a guy that size. Very impressive, right?
I was like, they put the strap on Khali, and good Lord, great Khali. So, and I already think he's way better than him. But I think if they really take the time and like get him with the nuance things, he's going to run things for a long time.
And I, kind of like the Ali Mansoor relationship we were talking about earlier. When the veteran AJ has enough and does take out Omos, it's gonna mean I hope, because you got me scared there where you're like, at any given moment I could see this all falling to the wayside because YOLO, that's what happens in Vince's world. But it could be very meaningful. It really, AJ Styles has done a great job in this role, elevating this guy, and when the time comes, is going to hopefully be the one to put him on the next level. So
yes,
yeah. Let's see here. Antonio Garcia or Alonzo Smith. Omos is a beast. It's too bad he's still so green. He's clearly very well protected. His first loss will be a big deal. He hasn't even been knocked off his feet yet. Yeah. So, all right. Carmella, she took to Instagram yesterday and shared the following. She said, it's been a while since I posted a no makeup, no filtered selfie. Do I love getting dressed up and having my hair makeup done? Yes, but a majority of my time is spent in sweats with no makeup on my face and my hair in a bun. That's my reality most of the time. So I need to do better in being real with you all on here. And to be completely honest, being on Instagram and Twitter recently has been hard. The hate and the threats are at an all-time high. It's quite disturbing, actually. I usually just try to post and leave it alone, but it's hard to not read the negativity sometimes. Y'all can be so cruel. Luckily, I know who I am. I'm not going to let you get to me. I just wanted to post this as a friendly reminder not to believe everything you read and see on the internet. Do you, for you, peace emoji. And this received a lot of attention on the website in the last 24 hours. And it does seem like we're kind of reaching a toxic boiling point right now with social media stuff that has now you have it being more openly discussed about in the pro wrestling space here. I think Carmella was very eloquent, right on the money with what she was saying.
Absolutely. I don't know why people on the internet feel the need to talk to people crazy that they watch, especially wrestlers. I saw when Naomi just like took her account off because people kept bothering her and harassing her. Stop doing that. That sucks that people can't take a picture or go online and post anything without people in their comments just negging them about everything they're doing. It's not constructive. It's not helpful. People are being dicks. Cut it out.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take to change. You know, obviously we had the big Facebook stuff last week where a lot of stuff was brought to light where, you know, social media being compared to big tobacco back in the 90s, and how that really, you know, at first I kind of heard it and I couldn't pin. I was like, I don't know if these things are the same. But after listening to all this testimony and like reading all this stuff about what is known, it really does feel like that. And as somebody who smoked for a long time, probably messed my lungs up, and thank God I quit like 7 years ago. I don't know. It just makes me think, man. Just makes me think. A little worried. That's all.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of change. But
all right. Well, real quick before we get to our last AEW note here, we'll circle back to the AJ Omos stuff because King Rail has sent us a super chat. Nick, what about Randy stealing Omos from AJ and turning on Riddle? You could buy that storyline for another two to 3 months. AJ and Riddle could be money also. Yeah, and dude, I mean, there's a variety of ways you could spend out of an Omos AJ split, right? I mean, there's a lot you could play with. And the fact that I was still watching RK Bro and AJ and Omos on Raw last night kind of blew my mind. How long have these guys been feuding? It's been months now these four guys have been working together, hasn't it?
Yeah, a while. And they've somehow kept it relatively fresh.
I think there's just like people really like RK Bro. People are so interested in Omos and AJ that it
Enough said. AJ Styles.
They're like, just keep running the play, man. If we're gonna score a touchdown, you know, why start throwing the ball?
Yeah.
We're running this from the beginning to the end.
4th and 30. Run it.
Run it down the field. All right, lastly here. WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley has called on AEW president, CEO, general manager, and head of creative. Man, that it takes me 5 seconds to describe Tony Khan and his role. Mick Foley pushing Tony Khan to book the anticipated rematch between Thunder Rosa and AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker. Foley had an exchange with Baker on Twitter, which began after Foley posted a backstage selfie with Thunder Rosa while at GCW Fight Club over the weekend. He called her the true women's hardcore legend, apologized to Baker. Khan has not responded out of this writing. I didn't really want to get into all the tweets that are back and forth, but yeah, Britt ragging on WWE's, women's division at the moment. There's been a lot of frustration about how little time and thought seems to be given to the women of WWE at the moment. I don't know. Any thoughts on Mick Foley advocating for this bout in AEW?
I think he should. He's pushing for it. We want to see it again. It was a great match. I think Mick Foley's a fan. And I think when the older generation are fans and are requesting things, that creates more of a buzz. That's showing that there's interest and that puts more weight on them. And now there's a little bit more heat under that possible match happening. All while Britt's crapping on WWE. I would pay good money for Britt Baker versus Charlotte Flair. Good money. Putting that out there.
All right, EJ, I want to thank you for joining me at the top of the show, talk all the news today. I want to thank everybody for jumping in the comments section here. It has been wonderful talking with you all today. We are not quite done yet. We have more to go in the mailbag, but of course I would be remiss if I also did not thank Brian Wool and the modern day Maharaja, which we know now is the word in Indian that means king, because I guess we just our brains were in the clouds here today, EJ. You know,
we're uncultured trash, and I think we gotta accept it.
Uncultured trash. Yep, that sounds like an iTunes review. Uncultured trash,
but 5 stars.
5 stars. Uncultured trash. Thank you, Brian and Jinder. It was wonderful that you guys got together, had that wonderful talk. We have a couple more interviews, by the way, from SummerSlam weekend that we're still going to roll out here on the daily in the coming week. So come on back. Brian's not quite done with all of the content that he got that weekend. All right, today's poll question comes to us from @WinkDaily, WINC Daily over on Twitter. We are currently at 1,306 followers. Guys, we added 5 followers overnight. That is a bump. That is momentum. We are on the road to 1,600 66 followers by Halloween. The spooky number. Satan will come, the ghosts will come, the zombies will come, and then we'll do wrestling podcasting with all these people. Cabin of the Woods. Yeah, totally. So go be one of the 360 people that we need to get there, and we would really appreciate it. You're wonderful. iTunes reviews always appreciated as well. Oh, hey, look, Polio Del Mar is here. Good morning, late to the party. Hi.
Morning.
Good morning. We're in the mailbag, Polio. You're great, by the way. Her interview there in Stevens did really, really well on the website yesterday. A lot of attention on why Damian Sandow, left professional wrestling after WWE. Why was he gone for a while? Scoops. We'll pull you there. So today's poll question from @weekdaily. What are you going to be watching this Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern? Is it going to be SmackDown? Is it going to be Rampage? Before we get into it, I have some numbers here about viewership from SmackDown and Rampage this past Friday night. So, first of all, this is all from Showbuzz Daily. The MLB Division Series game between the Dodgers and the Giants on TBS topped the night on the cable top 150 with a 1.08, which is huge. It was a Division Series game on TBS. It topped the night on cable and viewership with 3,982,000 viewers. That's a lot of people that were watching this. So I just want to kind of set the stage a bit by that, not making any excuses for anybody, but there was a huge playoff game going on over on TBS. So SmackDown was number one in the ratings for the 18 to 49 demo on network TV for the third week in a row, tying Shark Tank. Friday SmackDown drew the lowest key demo rating since fans returned to the live crowd. Friday's viewership was up 5.48% from the week before, while the key demo rating was up 12.72% from the week before. So largely pretty good numbers for SmackDown there. I should say very good. Of course, they maintained number one status in the 18 to 49 demo. Right, EJ? Great numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we go over and we see Rampage's numbers. So Rampage, they did a taped episode on Friday night, drew an average of 502,000 viewers on TNT, down 19.29 from last week's episode. Friday's taped Rampage did a 0.17 in the 18 to 49, down 32%. Rampage ranked number 15 for the night in the cable top 150, down from where they were at in the number 3 ranking before, and they were in the number 1, I think, 2 weeks in a row before that. Rampage ranked number 74 in viewership for the night on cable, down from last week's number 55. And Friday's tape Rampage on TNT drew the lowest audience and the lowest key demo rating for the show so far. So good numbers largely for SmackDown. Does seem like there was a dip for Rampage. Any takeaways about those numbers as we head in to this Friday? It sounds like now, according to Doom Tribe T, hour and a half confrontation between the two entities.
It makes me wonder, yes, we all love AEW and we love the quality, but maybe some of the luster is coming off, a little bit of the shine that was happening. We also have every bar is playing baseball right now and stuff. But I think with this head-to-head sort of challenge and Tony Khan saying something, I think this will elevate Rampage this weekend.
I kind of wonder if this isn't a period. I wonder if what's going on right now is like an adjustment period, because like you just blew out your fan base. I mean, Punk, Bryan, Adam Cole, boom, 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 boom. I mean, how do you not get swept up in that? You know, I was at All Out here with the back-to-back Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole stuff, and I was at CM Punk's return show for Rampage. All huge, big energy. I've never experienced such energy as I did in those moments. And now that we've all kind of had that, you know, we were anticipating Bray Wyatt. You know, there was the rumors about that, didn't seem to manifest. And now CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are part of the roster. For better or worse, they're being built as stars, which means that, yes, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are coming in and getting these pushes so they look credible. But at the same time, it's hard for me to ignore at the expense of other wrestlers that the fans of AEW have invested in over some time now. So it's a lot of moving pieces, right? But I can't imagine that once everybody finds their groove and they kind of create the stories they're going to want to invest in, that you're not going to see another, maybe even more significant round of growth from AEW on the other side of this. Maybe I'm thinking way too hard about this.
I agree with you. I think it's settling back down and then it's gonna jump back up. SmackDown and WWE has their groove. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting into. It's consistent in that way, and I think AEW they hit their groove and stride. I think it's gonna push forward.
Yeah. So I asked everybody, what are you going to watch, SmackDown or Rampage? Over 250 votes here in the last hour. SmackDown 45-9, Rampage 54-1. Rampage edging them out by, about 10%, but that's way closer than I was expecting, EJ. I thought by Twitter standards and Wrestling Inc. fan standards, Rampage might have blown out SmackDown here, but this looks like it's going to be competitive here on Friday night.
I mean, people want to see the head of the table.
I'm going to be fascinated because like NXT versus AEW, that's one thing, right? Because it's not your top tier talent. If CM Punk goes out there and outdraws Roman Reigns, that's real something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole different level. I think they tested NXT. Now they're like, all right, cool. Let's step up to the big dogs.
Yeah, and we'll see how that gamble plays off. Hey, I'm as interested in it as anybody. What a fun time to be a wrestling fan, right?
Man, I cannot wait for the day that they acknowledge them or just have Roman Reigns say something flippant about AEW, and I'm gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, we have some write-ins here at Real Jeff Wyatt, both. That's nice. I guess there'll be a chance for people to flip back and forth, right? Or have two separate screens if they want to go that way. We have at Angel in Disguise, even though on FS1 SmackDown gets lower numbers, but it's still higher than Rampage. We shall see. At Gorezilla, I don't watch much WWE anymore. I haven't since that mind-numbing and insulting Jeff Hardy addiction storyline. I'll catch the odd WWE pay-per-view match, but way happier watching AEW. I feel bad for Eric Romero here, saying I'm going to be at work, so neither. Bummer, dude. Right? Call your boss and be like, I'm dead. Click.
He called me and said he's dead. He didn't give me 2 weeks.
Damn it, I could have come up with something easier. Damn it, I screwed the pooch on that one.
Stop screwing the pooches.
Easily the most rednecky colloquialism left in my vernacular there. Used all my big northern words to cover it up. You see what I did there?
Oh, yeah. Screw the pooch with my vernacular. Starbucks.
At Tommy Wrestles issuing what I believe to be a veiled threat, switching over to Rampage unless WWE holds my attention and does something really good. So making them basically saying it's on you to keep my attention, right? Mm-hmm. I'll watch your first hour of SmackDown, but if your first hour doesn't end with me on the hook for your second hour, guess what, Vinny? I'm going over to hang out with old pros and cons over here,
Oh my goodness.
Another one that sounds like a very veiled threat at our Damon 1982 baseball if necessary. Come on now, right? We have Brian Bills here. 14-17 is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see. We have Pollo Del Mar commenting on Rampage's audience. It is audiences settling back into normal as life. The surge of buzz increased interest, and it returns to what we had before. Actually, we've kind of regressed. Like the 504 number is like well below where the show had been doing in previous weeks. Whether or not that was an anomaly because of baseball, I'm not really sure, but we'll see where everything goes, right? So,
and people are trying to get the last bit of outside before it gets cold.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's going to bring us to the end of the show, EJ. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be joined by Alfred Kunawa is going to be in the house here tomorrow.
Oh,
yes, Brian Wool is going to be traveling tomorrow, so I reached out to Alfred, and Alfred's going to be here talking to me about the pro wrestling news of the day. We'll also have another mystery interview. I'm debating releasing another SummerSlam Weekend interview or one that I have or another one that we have. So I don't really know. I'm kind of playing it fast and loose this week with the interview content this week. And if you like the Wrestling Inc. Daily, support WrestlingInc.com. We're on all your favorite socials, and the Wrestling Inc. podcast goes live on Wrestling Inc.'s YouTube and socials, just like the Daily, only that happens at night after shows like NXT. We won't have one tomorrow night because Dynamite's going to be on Saturday, but you can tune in, enjoy the Wrestling podcast, subscribe to that on your favorite podcast platform, just like you can the Daily. EJ, what do you want to plug, promote, put over here to wrap up the show today?
I'm still thinking about that Carmella post, and I always say be nice, but be nice. You don't need to comment on people's things that you don't know because they won't see you, and be rude. Like, it's not cool. When I first started doing the podcast with you, people would comment and say weird things to me, and then I found myself backlogging their address, and I said, "Oh, I need to step away from it." Be nice, y'all. It takes less effort to be nice and kind.
Yes, I agree. And if you don't like something, just kind of walk away sometimes. That's all right, right?
Find something you like.
There's a place for advocacy, but if you just don't agree with an opinion, right? Like, hey, I thought The Last Jedi was the best Star Wars. Maybe not the time to go in and dock somebody, right? Like, play, be nice, right? It's okay to have opinions. It's okay to have opinions. You can have opinions without being political, right?
Yeah.
Just be nice, right? Okay. This is a nice salvo. Really good.
Yeah, something.
Ending salvo.
Be chill.
I'm at Nick_Hausman. You can engage me nicely over there. I will talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss it.